Hey guys, welcome back to another video tutorial, and for this video tutorial we will be moving on from the home tab in the word processing document to insert tab. So I am going to go ahead and select my insert tab, and within this area you can see on the ribbon that there are a large number of groupings in the insert tab. However, for this tutorial we will be looking at the pages grouping along with the tables grouping. Now, as you can see where the pages grouping is, we currently have three selections. The first one indicates cover page and then a blank page followed by a page break. Now, the cover page is normally used to put our first page in our document or give the user an idea as to what type of document that we are preparing. Another example could be in the case where we are completing a project, and so we would want a cover page to indicate the purpose of the document. So I will go ahead and select the arrow, and from that a drop down listing appear. There are currently a large number of samples in this. However, the template that I'm using is the filigree, and then once selected, the template automatically appears on our screen. Now, the simple thing about these templates, we can just select the area that based on the headings that they have, and then we just make our personal changes there. So for example, the document title, I can click in that area, and once it is clicked, it automatically highlights and we can make the changes accordingly. So for this document title, we can say how to use the insert tab, and then that would be the title. If it is that we have a subtitle, again we click the area and we make the changes. So for this we could say the subtitle is groupings and formatting features. Now, another section of this template indicates a date, company name and address. So we're just going to make date May 1st, 2020, and then the company name, let's say YouTube, just for example, and then the company address youtube.com, and then this would outline the cover page, a sample cover page in our document. Now, if it is that we want to insert a blank page after this cover page, we could go ahead and select the blank page, and the blank page automatically takes us to a new page in our document. Once the cover page template was selected, automatically a blank page followed based on the flexibility of the software. Now, for this blank page, I can go ahead and say how to use insert tab, and once I select enter, I could also go ahead and say how to use the design tab, and these are two of the different tabs that we can identify on the ribbon. However, I would want the how to use a design tab to move to another page. So what I could do is to place my cursor at the beginning of that sentence, and then the option that says break page, I would select that, and automatically it takes this information to another page. So what it does, it breaks it from the page that it was currently on and places it onto a new page. And then the heading that says how to insert a new tab is currently there. So if we want to switch between insert and home, we can go and place a bold and underline, and we probably could just change the font size to something larger. So that's some basic things. We can mix our different formatting features based on the different tabs that they can be found. Now I place my cursor at the end of this sentence, and I enter 2 times, 1 2, and then we move on to the table section. Now if I select the arrow for the table section, a drop down listing is available. We can insert tables from a variety of outline or options. The first, they give us a series of rows and columns, so we can decide how many rows or how many columns we want our table to entail. So we're going to start with the rows. So going across, we currently have 3 rows, but for this example we will be using 2 rows, and then for the column going down, we can have 4 columns. Now once that is selected, our table has been created. So that's one way. So automatically, once we create a table, it gives us a table tools area. However, we are not using that now, so we go back to the insert tab. There are other ways where we can insert tables. So I place my cursor at the bottom area of this table, and then I go back to the arrow. I get my drop down list. I don't want to use the rows and columns outline. I want to select the option that says insert a table. Now a pop-up box appears indicating how many columns, how many rows we want to have in our next table. So I want to say I need 3 columns in that table, and then I also need 4 rows, and I wouldn't make any adjustments here, so I will go ahead and select OK. And as you can see, my table is now here. So in that example, we selected 3 columns. So again, we say columns going down, so it's 1, 2, 3, and then it was 4 rows going across, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are 2 ways that we can insert table. Another way that we can insert a table is through the use of an external document, which is known as spreadsheet. We are not using this, however, we are just using the 2 easier section, which is either select our rows and columns or to insert the table based on the estimated rows and columns that we want to use. Now just a quick example, we're just going to populate the first table, so we are going to use the headings that we had earlier. So we have fruits, and in our second column we have countries. The 3 fruits were grapes, mango, and pineapple. And then the countries were Jamaica, Canada, and USA. So that's an example of how we can use tables in our Word documents. Now you can also go ahead and fill out the second table based on whatever requirements that you may have, but for this example we would just look at how is it that we can make adjustment in a table. If we wanted to apply some background colors in this table, one way that we could go ahead, we would select this section here. That's one way. Or we could bring our mouse over all of the information in the table, and as you can see, a small section of our ribbon appears here to give us different aspects. So I am going to select the shading, and then from the shading I can select a color. If it is I wanted one column in the color yellow and then another column in another color, we could make the arrangements or the differentiation there. So these are just some examples of things that we can do with our table. What if we wanted to change our column headings to probably a different text color? So we change it to red, and also we could also apply a highlight if we wanted to. So we apply the highlight, and then our shading, we could also change the shading color for the heading background. And then that basically wraps up this tutorial, and I thank you for watching. I do hope that you learned something new today, and please stick around for the next tutorials that will follow.